Hello, everyone. Welcome to the WMFG Tribe Talks yet again. And we are here to talk to Dr. Naresh Chand. I'm your host, Sonal Mazumdar, and I'm very happy and excited to talk about preclinical Alzheimer's with Dr. Chand, the expert today. So, before we even go and hear from Dr. Chand today, let me give you a little bit of introduction about who he is. So, Dr. Chand is a retired R&D neuropharmacologist from NIH and HHS, and he was in pharmaceutical industry for quite some time between 1981 to 2000. He has contributed to the approval of five medication over the past 40 years. The most important thing is that Dr. Chad was blessed to survive a life threatening stroke and later awakened from dementia, Alzheimer's in 2000. We have a lot to hear from him today. He firmly believes that lifestyle transformation and community service can significantly enhance the quality and the longevity of life. He's also an online business coach and preventive medicine expert and health coach for corporations, families, and communities. He devotes 5 to 10 hours on most days in reading and writing about slowing or recovering the biological aging of the brain and body. And he has published over 450 brief educational articles on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and Next Door Neighbor. The last thing, but not the least thing, I would like to mention is that he has advanced education and skills and extensive experience in gentle yoga, Ayurveda, and holistic medicine. With that, we would like to start hearing from Dr. Chand today. Welcome, Dr. Chand. How are you today?
I am blessed to be with you today. This is a beautiful day and some sun and sunshine day, really.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I can totally see the outside is so beautiful. Wish we had a way to, just go outside and talk over a coffee, but we have to be careful about the audio quality. So I think my studio closed door was a place to be. But yes, can you tell a little bit about this preclinical Alzheimer and what is it all about and what could be the possible risk factors that onset this?
About 5 to 7 million people are living with Alzheimer's in USA, and there is no real cure or preventive once you reach to the state of that you are dependent for everything on somebody else. The cost is about $1 trillion per year.
Oh, wow.
It's a mind-boggling. Uh, Preclinical means before you reach to the stages of dependency on somebody, taking care of your bathing, cooking, dressing, although just before that, there are glitches of memories happens here and there with all of us, whether we are in 40s, 50s, 60s. But after age 65, 10 to 20% people will unfortunately will be affected by the faster rate of progression to Alzheimer. Every day about 1350 people are diagnosed in USA as 10,000 people become senior 65 today. 13% of them will be diagnosed with Alzheimer today alone.
Oh my goodness,
Every
that's a
six,
huge number.
every 65 seconds somebody is diagnosed with Alzheimer. So my I made a determination after retirement, since I survived abdominal obesity, food addiction, a stroke, then loss of job, then depression, alcohol dependence, and neurologist told me in 2000, early 2000, that your brain is of 9-year old. So I awakened and I changed transformed my life. Most people can do it. Alcohol was a problem, depression was a problem, food addiction was a problem. So all those things I had underlying causes, insulin resistance, uh, the atherosclerosis, everything is hidden under this big belly and we can't see it. I came with 29-inch belly uh, size or waist circumference in 73 to Canada. Then I fall in love with Western food and I just start growing hair. I mean, and I couldn't see it. I was so happy. But one day I awakened with a stroke, and God and America gave me second chance. So I want to modify the behavior, eating behavior, food selection behavior, physical activity behavior, dancing, music, meditation, yoga, stretching, balance improving. All these things we can do it, and I could do it, you can do it too, or most people can do it. So
Amazing.
sooner we start the journey of reversing or slowing or halting the progression of preclinical to clinical stage, more longer and healthier you will live a independent and virtually good life.
That's true. So it is not that just because the Alzheimer is more prominent in the aged group, the solution should be only taken care at that time. We can start early, like from 30s or 40s. If you can start a good lifestyle actually throughout your life, not even 30s, 40s, that if you start having a good balanced life with proper food intake and exercises and everything, you can prevent such diseases at the older age when things become less controllable or more difficult or challenging, right?
More challenge it will be if you are in 70s, 80s, 90s. It is the challenge is going to exponentially grow,
Grow.
unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So we want to reduce that challenge. And most people, according to Dr. Neil Bernard, the diagnosis of Alzheimer today is not your destiny. And I strongly believe in it.
Hmm.
I happened to talk to him in 2000, uh, when I joined NIH for half an hour. And I was asking him where I will get the animal protein or proteins. He said, Naresh, he looked at in my eyes and he simply said, Naresh, you don't need animal protein at all.
Mm.
And I was so blessed that he told me, because I was craving that animal products, whether it's come from sea or whether it's come from cows or dairy or cheese. And this is loaded with animal protein, and it's along with animal protein comes saturated fat. Along with it comes hormones and cholesterol and many other things which causes cardiovascular diseases and dementia.
Correct. Very nice. Wow. I mean, there is so much to look forward to what Dr. Chand has to say. And there's so many things that we are unaware of. And I'm sure like this podcast is going to reflect on that and highlight some of the impacts and solutions that, we can think about to definitely slower the onset or to prevent the preclinical Alzheimer. And let's see, Dr. Chand, can you tell us a little bit about some of the solutions or what, as younger people, or even as anybody could start doing, or how they can transform their lifestyle in order to prevent these diseases?
Well, let me just go for the summarizing the sum of the potential causes or
Hmm.
real causes of Alzheimer or other neurological disorders in body.
Absolutely.
One is the dehydration.
Hmm.
Second is constipation. And third is depression, trauma to the brain or body. Then there are nutrient deficiency, for example, magnesium, I strongly believe. The lack of sun exposure, fresh air, pollution indoor. So all these factors have to be looked by a particular individual. Look what are your risk factors are, whether you have, if your mother or father had Alzheimer, it does not mean you have to have it.
Hmm.
You can slow the progression by 10, 20, 30 years.
So it is not genetic.
It has a component of genetics and some European heritage people, but we can't, the gun is loaded, the body is loaded with genes.
Hmm.
But for expressing them, you can shut them off
Hmm.
by lifestyle changes, by food we take, the quality of the breathe we do, the actions of hearing from the ear or vision or the sensory nerve. What are your risk factors? If you have a big belly, it's a big risk factor for 40, 50% people.
Of course, of course. That's a huge. and we have to understand, and we probably have to know that at what time point we have to be careful what's wrong in our body, what's wrong in our lifestyle, in our surrounding, to be able to be aware of that. Very important to be, as you said, like you were eating, you were enjoying the food, and your belly was increasing, and you probably didn't worry so much about it.
I did not want to see it.
See it,
Okay.
yes. So people don't want to see it.
This
Yeah.
is food addiction is so powerful, and it affects the life of 50 to 90% people in the world. Okay, once you get used to a tasty food, no matter where it comes from, if it become tasty and you love it, you will do it. Just like chocolate, I used to do chocolates, I used to do beer, I used to do dairy, cheese. My God, I mean, I was full a food addict. And it's so, look at what your liking and disliking are. So that's the first step. And look, you should not stop completely life, but how much you can cut off and how much risk
The
reduction
balance,
you
the
have.
moderation.
Yeah, moderation.
Right.
And in some time in moderation, in parties, socialized eating, we overeat many
Right.
times. So few minutes ago, before we started this conversation, you asked for 4C.
Correct.
What are the 4Cs? First is the color of your plate. The plate you have should have 5, 10, 20 colors. So whatever maximum number of colors it is, purple color, green, blue, red, yellow, green, you name it. It should be blend of your plate. That will tell you how healthy you are within your brain and body. Color of your plate. The color of urine. If you have yellowish or dark brownish color, it means you are partially dehydrated or severely dehydrated. So keep a track on it. Right. Of the urine color. It's not that difficult to do it. Yep. The third thing is the consistency of your stool. If it is hard, you're constipated, which can happen because of you're not eating adequate amount of fiber, vegetables, grains, fruits, seeds, nuts. These are the real food for 100 trillion gut microbiota. That's true. If we don't feed our friends better nutrition, nurture them, they're not going to regenerate the neuroprotective substances, neuroregenerative substances, or body protecting or muscles. Everything gut is the center. In Ayurveda, 60 years ago, I was working with the Ayurvedic scholars at that time as a intern, just for passion and interest. And I learned that no matter what disease you are in, you first fix the gut. With khichdi, and khichdi is a probiotic, really prebiotic, mostly grain and beans and spices. That's khichdi. And this is a national meal for India really nowadays. And second is the dahi. Dahi is yogurt, which is probiotic. So you have given combination of prebiotic and probiotic. Now your gut improves, so does your brain, and body health improves. It doesn't take a genius to understand, but in Western world, more than 80% people are not taking adequate amount of vegetables, fruits, nuts, seeds, grains, and you don't have to eat too much of it. Just smaller quantities of two or three things. If you ever see my plates or my videos on my Facebook, I do it for the sake of fun. You don't have to spend too much of time and money and effort on it. It becomes part of you. And you do it. So that's one thing. This third C is
I think the fourth C. The first was,
yeah. First was
the first was the color. The second was the consistency, the color of your urine. The first one, color of your plate. The second one, color of your urine. The third was the consistency of your stool.
Yes.
And the
fourth one is circumference of your belly. See, circumference, the belly size. If it is expanding, since you are 18 or 19 or earlier, if it is expanding disproportionately, it's time to work on it and plant-based foods will shrink it back by 5 to 10 inches even.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
You're saying
I
5 to 10 inches.
I reduced by plant-based foods 5 inches from my belly. I was 37 inches,
Mm-hmm.
which is 54% of my height.
Oh, wow.
So look at take your waist circumference, divide it with your height. If it is 50% or more, you are in high risk group already. I came with 42%. Gradually, it start increasing my waist circumference, which I enjoyed.
So you say it is the waist circumference, not the belly circumference.
Waist circumference
Waist
and belly
circumference.
circumference, to my mind, is same.
A kind of same.
Yeah,
Okay.
at the navel.
At the navel.
Yeah,
Okay. At the
yeah,
navel. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So keep these six good friends with you.
Mm-hmm.
Keep a idea about the color and color of your urine, consistency of your stool, and the
Circumference.
circumference of your belly, and the color of your plates. And
Amazing.
if you monitor all these 3 4 things, you're going to be healthier, hopefully,
Of
compared to
course.
those who are uh, over engrossed in pleasure seeking.
Mm-hmm.
Alcohol, there is no safe dose of alcohol. I
Mm-hmm.
gave up alcohol too. Okay, uh, I drink 2 or 3 glasses of large glasses of dad's tea or turmeric tea or Lipton tea or hot water every day in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
and I usually keep sipping water throughout the day. Hot water I sip, and I was reading somewhere that if you take hot water before sleep, half a glass, it might improve your circulation of the brain. And I also discovered recently, I was working with a patient, and I suggested magnesium calm, they call it calm, CALM, calm
Mm-hmm.
tea.
Mm-hmm.
In hot water, you add 1 spoon, becomes a foamy stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and you slowly sip it. It has very good taste, and this person has coming back for last 12 months. He's reversing his Alzheimer by drinking magnesium rich
Coming tea.
this tea.
Wow.
Or
That's very
you
nice.
can add some magnesium rich foods in your diet. For
Mm-hmm.
example, purple sweet potato is loaded with magnesium.
Mm-hmm.
Magnesium rich foods, any green foods, any green leafy, they are rich in chlorophyll and magnesium because they are combined there.
Mm-hmm.
So that will also help to overcome the magnesium deficiency and will improve the gut health. And this ecosystem sitting in our colon is 100 trillion gut microbiota,
Yes.
and they
Yes.
are so complex. They are mini nano factories.
Mm-hmm.
They are chemical factories for generating fatty acids, essential amino acids, essential vitamins, including vitamin D even. And they also produce regenerating substances for the brain and body. This science is in its infancy.
Yeah.
People are recognizing it more and more, but a lot more has to be done.
Lot more has to be done. I'm so glad, Dr. Chand, that you are here and you are sharing so much knowledge with us. Because of course, I mean, we do so many things. We try so many different foods, with so many different supplements, so many different medicines, and we go to the doctors and we try out different fitness routines. But a lot of times we don't know what we are doing and what is needed for our specific kind of body and where is the source of the issue or what has to be taken care of specifically. So I'm really glad that you're sharing so much, knowledge.
Lots of people are taking too many supplements and
Mhm.
too many medications and not drinking adequate water.
Mhm.
So they are causing constipation because the gut
Of
microbiota
course.
don't like the extracts or
Mhm.
the medicines.
Mhm.
So they go on a strike. So they're constipated. And constipation increase the risk of Alzheimer by threefold.
Wow. Very good. Very good to know.
Dehydration increase the risk of Alzheimer by 5 to 10 fold.
Wow.
So eliminating alcohol, drinking warm water or hot water, sipping hot water or carbonated water, um, and eating lots of multicolor foods. That's the key. Your
Correct.
plate should be very vibrant, colorful, and appetizing.
Very nice. Dr. Chand, can you tell me about the four S's also that you were talking about?
Wonderful. I think it's a great question. And four S's means is sun exposure. First is sun exposure. As and when expose your hands or face, you get adequate amount for 10-15 minutes every day or most days. You will get adequate of natural vitamin D.
Very nice. Yes, that's why I think everybody says like at least go out of the house, go for a walk or a run or whatever in the nature because that's very important.
Fresh air in the nature is a priceless commodity. Okay, and everybody can afford it to some
Right.
extent, to a great extent. The sun exposure, sauna. Sit in a sauna. It costs $100 to have a personal sauna. Buy one and sweat in it. The sweating will also eliminate minerals and toxins from the
Toxins.
body, and so you feel, and this also reduces the risk of Alzheimer by 20-30%.
Very nice.
Sleep, improve your sleep with magnesium rich foods or magnesium rich teas or any other ways, meditation, yoga, stretching, yawning before sleep, or just chanting, clapping, anything which relaxes you before you go to bed and improve your sleep hygiene. Sleep at the same time, get up at the same time, and just be relaxed, because the calming of the brain and chittavartis, or the activations of our soul by the distractions in our lives, it's a big deal.
Yeah, because sleep is one thing that a lot of us are struggling, especially this era, this phase, because we are so stressed out the entire day. So getting the right sleep is very difficult. And also, we are so into our mobile phones. Like before going to bed, we're always like doing something on the mobile phone, and that is totally taking away, you
I,
know,
I keep this thing away from my bed, 10 feet, 20 feet away, and put it in silence and no distraction. Usually 90% times, by the grace of God, I get good sleep.
Correct.
Once in a while, I get up, but then I drink magnesium tea and I'm going to bed again for 3, 4 hours or 5 hours. So
So this magnesium calming tea is mostly before going to the bed
I think that's desirable, but you can try it at different times.
times. Okay.
That's everybody can be a scientist or a doctor for self health care. You
Yes.
don't have to have 4 or 5 advanced
Yeah,
degrees
that's
or
true.
doctorate
I think
degree.
we can just be
Yeah,
our own doctors
sure.
because nobody knows your own self than yourself, right?
Very
So,
true. Anything you make a change and it produce constipation or dehydration, drink more water, drink more plant-based foods, and you will be surprised how you can negate the impact of medications or dietary supplements.
very nice. And what is the fourth one? The fourth S?
Okay, fourth is satiety. So when you eat plant-based foods, you will eat less and you will be having a satiety for several hours. So satiety, sleep, sauna, and sun. Keep those four S's with you, and I'm pretty sure there are many things you can add to C's and S's.
Very nice. I mean, thank you so much, Dr. Chand, for all the four C's and the four S's, the secrets of a healthy life, not only just to negate or, slower the Alzheimer, but overall, it feels like these are some of the mantras to kind of have a very well balanced and a healthy lifestyle. Definitely, you mentioned a little bit about the yoga or doing some kind of movements like walking or something like that. So, can you tell a little bit about the physical activity that we can incorporate, or a mental activity that we can incorporate to help us?
So for stress management, meditation, different kind of meditations, you can teach, I can teach, anybody can learn from internet. There are many vibration sounds which are healing sounds. Om chanting. Om. Reciting the Om mantra is very calming to the chittvartis and calming the brain. And so meditation is one for stress management and relaxation. The second thing is, as we age, we lose our skeletal muscles, fast twitch fiber muscles in the legs. So improve your tree pose yoga, standing on one leg, holding onto the mirror or a wall or chair. Try to stand on for. Let me bring one story from Japan. About 15 years ago, they published a paper. People who can stand on one leg without falling, standing on one leg for 20 seconds or more without falling, crystal clear brain, 65 plus people.
Awesome.
And those who could not stand on one leg for 20 seconds or more, their brain was full of biomarkers of stroke and Alzheimer's.
Oh, wow.
So since then, I teach three people every day how to improve their balance. No matter whether they love me or don't love me, doesn't really matter. But I teach it to three people. Everybody can teach to three people tree pose yoga, and it doesn't have to be advanced in the early stages. There are many stages of tree pose yoga or balance improving poses. So there are many of those things I can teach. Anybody need help from this old fellow,
Of
80-year
course.
old man? So give me an opportunity to serve you.
Sure.
So yogic, balancing, exercising, and stretching. Just even in sitting position, neck, shoulder, torso, legs, stretching of the hands, and dancing moment in sitting position or standing. Dancing is wonderful. Dancing is healing to the brain and body and soul. More you move, healthier you become. If I was an important person in America, I'll add dancing in all level of school levels and meditation and pranayama.
Very
Breathing.
nice.
Optimize your breathing. Optimize your breathing because under infections, allergies, and colds and everything, or aging, we are not optimally using the entire lung. So pranayam practices, Bhastrika pranayam, happy face Ujjayi pranayam, or any other of pranayam practices. There are many of them, or Kapalabhati, Ujjayi pranayam. So use one of the pranayam practices or more than one and improve your lung capacity. And your if your oxygen level is low in the blood because of suboptimal breathing, you are going to get a sluggishness or a brain fog because of poor oxygenation of the brain.
Very nice. I mean, of course. I mean, there are so many,
Trivial things.
trivial things that we can take care of, and some of movement is very important. Be it dance, be it yoga, definitely. But these are so the things you said, like controlling the breath. It's so important, and I think yoga is a very good way to kind of doing it, which not many other fitness routines
Modalities.
can offer. So it's so helpful. A lot of people don't realize that. They think it's a slow thing, it's boring. It's very boring sitting and doing some breath work. Okay, how it is even impacting.
Initially everybody feels that way, but
Yeah,
once you got in tune with it,
of course.
you will start relishing its impact on your health and your body
Yep.
health.
Yes.
And it's a
Yes.
$20 billion business in America,
Yep.
just yoga and meditation.
Correct.
And increasing.
Yep.
And
Yeah, I'm considering it seriously now.
okay, so
Very
this
nice.
so there is a garbage disposal system in our brain which need to be activated, or because of hydration you can activate it. Hot water, turmeric tea, spices, herbs, plant-based foods, all will activate the they call it lymphatic system in the brain. This is a sort of a lymphatic to dispose of all the proteins from the brain. So that's the important part I want to talk about during last 2 or 3 minutes is there is a as we age, aging is related with the chronic persistent immune inflammation in the brain and body. And we can slow it down by cooking Ayurvedic, using Ayurvedic herbs, the way Thousands of years people have been using Ayurvedic herbs and spices in cooking. So learn the art of not for aroma or for smell or improving the taste, but it will slow down the inflammation in the brain and body. And that's one reason Asians have 75% less risk of Alzheimer compared to the Western people. So Ayurveda, yoga, meditation, hydration, and look at your stool and urine and
All
color
the
of
four
your plate.
C's and the four
Yeah,
S's you talked
yeah,
about,
sure,
of
sure.
course, of course. Well, Dr. Chand, thank you so much for all the insightful, discussions that you have talked about. You have given us some really really good knowledge about different things about loneliness or trying to be in a good community, trying to be happy with your friends and family.
Give a hug to people.
Yes.
Talk to people.
Yes.
Learn from their culture.
Like happiness, to be
Happiness,
happy
to be
internally,
happy.
real happy,
Yes.
is very important
Very
for your overall health. Yeah.
The loneliness is as bad as smoking 15 packs of cigarettes every day.
Oh
It's as
my
bad.
goodness.
Yes.
Wow.
So make friends, be friends, and eat plant-based foods when you do the socialized eating. You can't go wrong.
That's true. That's true. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Chal. I think today, me and all the people who are listening to this podcast, the Women of Maryland Fitness Group, their friends, family, I mean, it goes to a wide range of audience. Of course, when the podcast will be published, I'll share the link with you so you can go ahead and share at your profile. It was a great pleasure to have you here. I mean, when I met you like maybe last month or so,
I reached out to you.
I know. I was like, I need to get you here because this is what I like, and this is not only that I'm completely in love with being fit, to be healthy, but I also want this to be spread to everyone I know around me, be it my family, be it my friends. So you were one person I always had in mind, and when you reached out, I'm like, okay, I'm having you this month.
I'm so blessed to meet you, Sonal. This is a blessing from the cosmos. Without God's blessing, nothing good happens in life.
I'm sure. Like,
so, cosmic intelligence, keep God in your prayers, and that healing also comes from believing in God or people around you. 4 P's you should remember: people, plants, planets, and passions.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Dr. Chand. Goodbye.